about 30 years ago. And already.
No, that one's pretty old.
No, I immediately hung up.
And they said, no, I'll tell you, that, about the redfish and stuff.
Hey, this is the first time we're all in person here.
I know, we should have.
Hi, Wendy.
I know we
Since,
should.
April.
I know.
or was it
This
March?
makes me so happy. Can we take a
No,
picture?
I don't think Shannon ever got to sit there.
No, she never did.
No,
I've been so used to you taking Dave's seat that I forgot that's where you sit.
I just think we don't have to wear masks.
Technically, yes, but that's.
There's not a mask
No,
mandate
that's
in
right. I
City
came in
Hall.
here the other day and no one's wearing it, but how
And-
does that
I've been
make her feel?
vaccinated too.
I'm
Everybody's
vaccinated.
vaccinated.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah, you wear
vaccinated?
I
masks?
think they're a nuisance.
Beth, vaccinated?
this stuff.
Mayor, you're vaccinated.
Yeah, we all.
Beth, are you vaccinated?
No, but I've had it. I'm not gonna get it again.
Why?
You better knock on wood. I know Sandy's already got the
My
twice.
sister had it and she got vaccinated.
If I need another one, I'll get a third one.
I did not have it and I got vaccinated and I don't want it.
No,
Don't want another vaccination. Can we just do that?
I know
That's what I want.
I drink to that if we were at Shardy's.
Oh my God, the paper was awesome.
Wasn't that
The
hysterical?
paper was so funny.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So funny.
I want to post my rec football T-shirts that we had made about 15 years ago when
That was
there
a
was
good
a movement.
I remember.
Remember that
I
movement?
remember
And
the signs.
Everyone wore the shirts and signs, and we had volleyball and the football.
And didn't the old football coach from the 70s show up and go, "Don't do it"?
Don't.
It nearly killed the kids. No, it was
Somebody.
They're gonna compete with Greg.
it was the original
We're the only
football
district that
coach
doesn't have
from the
football.
70s.
Everybody
Yeah.
in our school district has.
yeah, but they said it was so small that they'd be playing Ironman football instead
Yeah, we're the
of.
And he
only
showed
one
up and
that-
like he goes,
It's like
"Everybody got
it's
killed."
not like it's not like the Texas football that you're thinking of. It's basically a little football.
It would have been more believable if they wouldn't have said they're canceling.
Daughter had
All the
eight
other-
districts in
Yeah,
track meet
yeah.
and referral.
Well, you have to because
Their
nobody
guy,
would play.
it's like.
If you
Well, that was pretty much the only sport they had back then, if I remember correctly.
When was it?
Where?
I don't know, 60s or something.
Lean runners is what we've got. And then we've got.
Well, everyone's looking
groups like
really
my
good. I'm
son
gonna miss this seat.
Don't play sports.
Not
Are you gonna
bad.
miss your seat?
So how long do
Hey,
y'all
we
get
got,
to sit
what,
there?
next, till May?
Till
May is
Well,
the,
just the start.
the start of it.
Hot minutes, that's it.
Yeah, but so April's your last official full meeting.
Because he's so,
Almost done.
he's such a.
And Scott keeps saying, Joan, are you finished?
Oh,
No.
So everybody keeps asking me as well.
I've got this blouse I've got for you. to wear.
It's been new.
It's
For
been new.
Kansas City
You've
one,
just been
I don't
zooming
like it.
lately.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
too small
Oh, yeah.
and
It's nice.
All right, we
it
ready?
just hangs. And
Ready.
I'm gonna take it to her.
I do have a question before we start.
Yeah.
Is this going to be an executive or is this all an open?
All open.
Okay.
And Mike's on standby if we need him.
My other class.
Do we have anything?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Call the meeting to order. Let's have our pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No, we don't have them on special meetings.
All right. Let's go right into it. Any citizen comments?
I'm just going to make one.
Oh, that's it for me.
I want to thank everybody, including Rick Adams, Nicole Boyer, and everybody who did a really good drive-through clinic on Tuesday.
Did they
Yeah, we got
finally
a lot
get
of
rid
positive
everything?
response back from
Yes.
that.
Did they finally get rid of all of them?
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
How many
And then they had
was
about 500 on Friday of first shot people, and then about 550 on Tuesday of second shot people.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
we're good.
Yes, it is.
Do you think they'll have a third one for first shot people?
I doubt it.
I just don't think, I think
I don't
most
think the
people have
numbers
gotten
are-
their vaccine. I mean, unless there's kids, you know what I mean? Now that anybody.
Yeah,
can get
now
it.
it's open,
Oh,
so,
Yeah.
but you know, we're starting to see them.
Recommending 18 and up too, so.
The count's going down, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know.
No
Maybe
citizen
it goes up and
comments,
down.
huh?
No, sir.
All right. Item 3. Discuss and take action on resolution terminating lobbying services contract, setting a date for termination and authorizing the final payment. Open it up to the floor.
Yeah, and authorizing final payment, that would be if currently we have paid him through March. So he's been
So we-
paid
we could
because
pay him through April if
he
we
would
wanted
bill
to.
a month early, basically. So he's paid through last night. So just to give you guys a background, you'll see my emails there. They kind of pages 1 through 5 is kind of when the first one was right after March 15th. And that was prior to our March 18th council meeting, you know, and I just let Hugo know, I said, hey, we're keeping in touch with us, but just, you know, where was it in the second paragraph? If, depending on how councils vote, if they oppose it, it'll force one of us to take an opposing side. Please let me know your thoughts on the matter. Then I followed that up with another another email on March 16th about what our concerns were with the county resolution of that economic development. And then I followed it up with on Wednesday, you know, of course, then the vote took place on Thursday. Followed that up the next week with, hey, we're definitely in conflict. And that kind of started the conversations that, hey, you need, you know, it's my thought that you need to, you know, peel out of your contract. There was some discussion at first. He was like, well, you know, you guys owe me 3 months pay then. And I was like, well, that's not how I see it. I think that's not how council's going to view this, and I'll take it to council and they'll decide. So then it went down to how about 10,000? That was last Friday's offer. And then Monday he said, how about 5,000? And we'll call it a day. So I said, you know, my directive to him was, you know, I don't have the authority to wheel and deal out of the contract. You know, it's council hired you, so council is going to be the ones that discuss it and come up with either zero or whatever you guys come up with. But, you know, I did tell him it would be at council's discretion. So that's what you have before you today.
I got a question.
Yeah.
When did he start working for the port, or was he always working for the port?
You know, no, you know, I don't know the exact date. I was trying to figure that out. I think it was most likely after the city's, it was well after 19, you know, I'm guessing maybe even 2020 at some point. I don't exactly know.
He was.
No, because at that time, the only state requirement is that if there's conflicting lobbyist or if conflicting legislative issues, then you have to notify. Then there's a notification requirement on him to notify both clients and the state that, hey, I think I'm in conflict, and I've notified both clients. So technically, when he was hired on with the port, we weren't in a legislative conflict.
Okay.
So there was no requirement for him to reach out to us or the state and put us on notification.
But when he did, when the port is trying to, you know, this session, trying to change some of this.
Yes.
Did he give us notice in the state notice that it is in conflict?
No.
So then, okay.
Well, I mean, we weren't,
Really,
Yeah, technically
until we decided to oppose them.
yeah, because you guys never, I mean, you guys, that's when the conflict,
Even though they brought it
yeah.
up.
In my eyes, the
So we
official
voted on it.
conflict was,
Okay, I see.
and that's why after you guys made that vote, you know, I notified you, hey, this is particularly putting this in conflict because you guys made the official vote. And so really, to me, in my eyes and our attorney's eyes,
And so
the
he's
official
representing the
conflict,
county.
the official conflict became when you guys made the official opposition and he was at that time working for the county and the
he-
port too, both of them together.
Right, but this was essentially against the county.
Yes, correct.
So there was a conflict.
Yeah.
but it was a conflict because we told them no. So I mean, in his defense, there was no problem until we changed our mind.
We
So-
didn't change our
Well,
mind.
not change it, but until you,
Well,
Until we made the decision.
yeah, that was your first decision.
Right.
Yeah.
We were presented with a bill that we chose not to.
Well, I understand.
Correct,
I'm
yeah.
saying, but like,
So that's when the conflict started. So,
Correct.
um,
Which was last week. I mean,
Well, 2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So,
It's a shame. I mean, I know he's done a lot, you know, especially.
what did he
with-
do for how did he help us?
About 8 million.
Well, I mean, he was, you know, if you remember, we first hired Hugo in, it would have been late fall of 18 for the upcoming 19 legislative cycle. When we were, you know, that fall, we had kind of gotten hosed out of our $8 million from the general land office. And we were like, holy cow, you know, because it was post Harvey and we wanted that. We were targeting the multifamily. There was about, I forget the number. There was about 40 million that was coming to the coastal bend for rehabilitation and workforce housing loan, you know, grants, and we didn't get a penny of it. And then they said, well, reapply in January, and we think you might, you know, requalify. But we knew at that point we were out of the money, so I think we hired Hugo late fall of 18, and then so he was instrumental in going, you know, getting the idea of going to the governor, setting up all those meetings, getting the governor, you know, it was his idea, hey, let's get the governor to earmark $4 million of us through the TDHCA, Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, which that ended up being successful, still let us $4 million short. And it was his idea to say, hey, let's go after another $4 million through the legislature and get Colkhorst and Hunter to get that through. So, I mean, he was really instrumental in, and then after that was successful, we then spent another year fighting, you know, once we had that money in hand, we still had the issue of getting the 9 acres from the general land office. So he helped us wrangle that out of the GLO's hands and get that purchase. So he was, you know, a big time player in that all the way through. You know, we ended up closing on that property May of 2020. So just, you know, all the way through, he was, you know, he had a big role in that.
Right, and that was important.
I mean, definitely got our money's
And it was
worth.
a
I mean,
very reasonable role. I mean, he was-
yeah.
so I got another question.
And someone like Hugo, you're, you know, there's only so many of these guys and gals that are lobbyists, and as you have different tasks or different fights or different things you oppose, they get conflicted, and so you end up jumping back to a lobbyist who 10 years ago you wouldn't use.
That's what I was
So,
gonna
yeah.
ask you, if say down the road we need him and we're not in conflict, can we use him?
Oh, yeah, sure you can, and that's why you want these things
We
to,
want it to be
Be
a
a-
friendly
amicable.
ending.
yeah, you want it, you want to part ways on good
Yeah.
notes, and Hugo worked good for us, but now he's conflicted out, and
Sure.
you know, his bigger fish is the county and the port, not us, and
Right.
you never know when you're going to use them again. I mean,
Right.
I'm already looking at people that we wouldn't have used 10 years ago because they were conflicted out, and
Right.
Well, I'm also,
and now the state's trying to get rid of all the lobbyists. So
That's- I was gonna bring that up.
Well, it was-
And-
2 bills in the legislature that right now that will do away with all lobbyists.
well,
So
it's,
cities will have
And the
no
Texas Municipal League too, because they use
Right.
lobbyists.
No,
We
no,
can't
that's-
even be a member of that.
well, I thought you could be a member, they just, that the TML can't lobby the,
No, they said you can't be a member of anything in which they do lobby.
Okay.
You're right.
well, anyway, but I was gonna say, I'm kind of, you know, maybe we settle with the 5,000 because we don't want to burn bridges like lawyers, you know, lawyers go to a case and they fight each other on the facts, but they don't fight each other personally because they're going to be in the courtroom 6 months from now trying each other again. And I kind of feel that if possible, we may end up using him sometime down the road. But if we burn our bridge, he may say, you know what, I'm never working for the Port Aransas City again.
Well, I would be good with that. I think that's a reasonable thing to say we could pay him for this month. One kind of severance pay.
I think he's earned his keep in the past, so.
But I guess first of all, we have
We're
to
paying
do.
him, is it 5,000 for April, if we make the decision tonight?
Yeah, you would, yeah.
April. Yeah.
And it's up to you guys. I mean,
It's been paid through March.
he's been paid through March, so he's been paid as of
So
yesterday.
we pay him the $5,000, but we cut ties right now, but we're gonna pay.
Yeah, he would cut
Like-
ties and notify the state in
What do
writing.
you call
Yeah.
that? Severance pay. All right. That sounds good to me.
And you said you already have other people that you've worked with in the past, or you?
Yeah, I need to shop it around, but, you just never know who's conflicted, in years past.
Are we looking?
You call somebody and they say, oh, I'm sorry, I work with, and you're like, oh, okay, and you just.
Do we
But
have
Hugo is
things-
really good.
I was say, are we, as I was say, her point is, are we actually looking for another lobbyist to continue the fight on other issues?
At this point, I'm not so sure. I think I need to spend like the next 2 weeks looking at that real close, and then I'll have it on the agenda for the 15th, just in case I need to bring something to you.
And
But like in years past, at the state level, we've often obvious just on and who our senators kind of have floated around. But I think now it's Cole course. So sometimes you just lean on your legislative
Right.
representatives to
Depends
do
on
the
what
lifting
you
for you,
need.
because a lot of times it's not like a personal House bill that affects just the city of Port Aransas. It's like a lot of them are, they're statewide. Like this one about this anti-lobbying bill. I don't think the city needs to spend money on a lobbyist to fight that, because this is going to be fought by TML, Houston. I mean,
Austin.
all the big players are going to be fighting this. And sure, if the mayor wants to go up and
Right.
sit in front of a committee and give read a letter, that's great. But, something like that, you typically don't need legislative.
My letter.
You don't need lobbying efforts for that. It's really, you want to save the lobbying effort for when you got a personal,
Already sending a letter out.
the mayor's sending a letter out.
About?
About this lobby.
yeah, about
We don't need it.
for Betancourt, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All gone.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess according to that thing, at least what the way I read it was, the port and other government entities will still be able to. It's just cities won't be able to. If I read that correctly, so.
Well, what it says is a city can't spend taxpayer dollars on hiring a lobbyist to
Right.
send to Austin to sway any kind of
But
legislation.
the port could, or
Well,
the
this
county
one,
can.
what does it say? It says
Oh,
the,
yeah, the port
From an
has.
ethical standpoint,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be doing it either.
Port.
Well, I agree, but that's not the way,
If
that's
we
not the
were
way it was.
lobbyists, do it all around, not just for.
I mean, from an ethical standpoint, Port Aransas, all types of views here.
Yeah.
And what we sending Hugo to do, is he representing all those views? No, of course he is.
No, but Jim's representing our view. We're supposed to represent the people of Port Aransas, so,
Well, that's the thing.
and directly, yes.
So,
It's okay. You don't-
mm,
I think you
I
did.
think it goes with the Williams, whoever push and pull in the legislature. Just like down in Houston and Beaumont, I think those two folks down there, they got a lot of push and pull.
Well, I heard that Austin spends $2 million a year on lobbyists, and
Our taxpayers.
San Antonio $1 million. I mean, they really spend money.
If the residential
So
zoning
that's what they're
bill
at.
comes back up, would that be something we would use a lobbyist for, since that? affects us?
but that's one of the big ones that it's going to be fought so much by the big cities that we're kind of
Yeah,
inconsequential
but
on
still,
that
the
too.
mayor could have a letter.
Well, we still, I think last time you and the mayor
If you
went up there.
Want to lobby, you go up there and do it.
Yeah, I mean, last time we went up and Rick went up and the mayor, we all spoke out. We all went to that,
And that's still allowed.
Be done.
yeah, we all went to those sessions and
Well, yeah,
spoke.
before
We
all
didn't use our
went.
lobbyists
It's
for
fine.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that in my 6 years here that we've hired specifically is when we wanted that money for ourselves. I mean, not that those bills don't make a difference, but I mean, Hugo was specifically for. I mean,
Yeah,
we
like,
needed
so at the
this
state
for
when we did
us.
that one, and then 2017, I don't recall us having anything. No, excuse me, 2017, we had the hotel motel lobby. We hired McBride.
Yeah, I was gonna
what was
say,
his
I
name?
remember.
Yeah, we had, yeah.
Yes, at
That's
the
right. It was the hotel motel. That was specific legislation.
But we did.
But prior to that, we officially hired him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we speaking of the $8 million? Is that what-
No, that was the 2017 mayor. We hired a lobbyist to help us with getting on that hotel convention center bill.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
specific because we.
That was ours. Yeah, that was Port Aransas getting written into that bill.
Yes, because
We're not-
yes.
Yeah, I don't think
totally
we've been paying to fight just general bills
Right,
and
general,
things.
Yeah.
The only thing that
We fought those by ourselves.
yeah, so that's the only thing I think was the residential or the
Airbnb thing.
thing. And you, like I said, we went up there, well, we, but you and Rick.
Yeah, the mayor and Rick
all
did that.
went up personally to
Yeah.
speak to the legislator. Okay, well, I mean, are we looking for a resolution?
Yes, I think well, are we ready?
You got, sorry,
Does everybody feel comfortable?
And we really did pay them for one day.
Have-
well,
That's up to you guys.
Well, I think it's like a severance.
I mean, you could even do less than that. I mean,
Well, there's nothing.
there's nothing in there.
I don't have a whole consulting agreement.
No.
To know if there's a.
That's it.
set If you end it before, so.
That's the agreement.
This one page.
It's a one pager. There is no severance agreement in there. I mean, you guys aren't obligated. You're not obligated to give them, according to Mike Morris, we're not obligated to give them
Of
anything.
course.
right.
But
But also look at if we need them down the road and if he feels like we, excuse my French, screwed him over now, he's definitely not going to work with us in the future.
We really did screw him over. We voted on a
Right.
thing that we didn't want to vote for. It's not true. We didn't have that in mind.
Well, no, but I mean, but it's like, if you have a contract to, say you're going to hire someone to go fishing for you and then you find out, well, I'm allergic to fish. Well, you've already hired that person to go fishing for you. I don't know what example, but.
Well, I think we just, and I need to be more aware that you need that conflict clause in all your lobbyist agreements. That the second council votes on a clause, the contract is automatically
No,
terminated
yeah.
based on a per day rate on that moment.
Yeah.
That's how it needs to be.
Yeah.
So that you can just go to so we're not having to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Let's
I
do
don't
it
know.
Well, I mean,
Resolution.
what,
5,000.
well, so what do you want to,
Wendy?
are you okay with 5,000? You think it's a,
I think that, I mean, if that's what the majority council wants.
well, so I said, I was going to make a motion, but if you think otherwise, I would like to hear your thoughts.
No, I just wanted to make sure, I mean, in a contractual agreement, that's the thing. I mean, if he was paid through March and it's the 1st of April and we pay him $5,000 a month and it's the 1st of April. But I mean, like Dave said, I mean, really what would be ideal is if there were something in the contract that was an out to where we could calculate a per diem. And fairly, not walk away with ill will or anything like that, but we don't have that, so.
But we will from now on.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to.
Okay.
Okay.
So since we're in April, we can pay him for April.
Sure. I make a resolution that we pay Hugo Berlinga $5,000 as termination for April.
And we terminate his contract.
Yes. And we terminate his contract.
Second.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Councilmember Holt,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomon,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford,
Yes.
Mayor Leon.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. That's it. Meeting is now adjourned.
We don't have that comments for future. Huh?
I think that happened at the beginning of the meeting.